Hello, welcome to this tutorial on how to use the audit module in the Azumuta platform. In this video, we'll walk you through the process of creating, planning, and executing audits. But first, let's understand how audits are used in the factory floor. Audits play a crucial role in ensuring operational excellence and maintaining high standards in manufacturing through checklists and standardized control. Most audits are time or place dependent. For example, regular safety audits in a specific area on the factory floor can be used to prevent accidents. So now let's dive into how to effectively utilize the Azumuta platform for these essential audit processes. To begin, we'll create an audit in the Azumuta platform that is linked to a specific location in your factory. Let's say we want to configure a safety audit in the packaging zone of the factory. First of all, we navigate to the sidebar and click on the Audits and Digital Checklists icon. Here within the audit procedures, we can, first of all, this is not mandatory, but to ensure a good overview, we can create a folder to indicate the zone for which the audit will be used. This can be done via the yellow plus, create folder, packaging zone. And within this folder, we can start creating specific checklists or work instructions that can be seen as an audit. In the folder packaging zone, we can start to create an audit. Let's say we want to create an audit, a safety audit. You can do this via the yellow plus, safety audit. So now we have created one audit. Of course, we need to populate the audit with steps. How do we do that? First, we click here. We can add the first step. So this is the description of the step, but of course we can configure the step completely as you like. So you double click on the step and you can see here you have different tabs to configure the step completely as you want. But yeah, this is very detailed and this is not the aim of this video. So I will focus on two tabs. First of all, you have the visuals here. Here you can add visual for the operator to help them understand the step. For example, here you can add an image. And you can give certain annotations that it's more clear for the operator. So aside from the visuals, you also have the tab checks. And checks are necessary to receive input from the operator. So the operator goes through the steps, and when you configure a check, they will fill it in. And at the end, you have a complete report of the filled in checks. An example is the OK, not OK, yes, no, a number check in which they need to fill in a number. Let's say here we do an OK, not OK check. And now we have configured one step. If you complete your checklist like this, it may look something like this. Also, here it's important to know that automatically your audit, if you create one within the audit procedures, your audit will receive the tag audit. If you want to change this and delete this tag, or you want to assign more tags to the work instruction, you can do this here by editing and just typing in the tag and click on save. This will be important for later in the planning view. Now it is also important, before we can plan the audit, it is important that we approve the audit. So we approve here, and now we officially have one audit in the system, the safety audit, which we can plan in a later stage. So now that we have approved the audit, it is time to plan it. How do we do that? We can go to the Audits and Digital Checklists section again and click on Planning. If you haven't configured anything in the planning yet, your screen will look like this. Here you can see already we have different kind of tabs, and tabs are necessary to categorize your different planning views and your schedules to have a complete overview. So how do we create the first tab? By clicking here, For example, you want a tab completely for the safety audits in your factory. You can see it here. Automatically a wizard pops up that helps you creating the planning view. So here, the sidebar settings, this is the settings on what you want to see in this vertical axis. You can either decheck certain procedures that you don't want to be shown in the sidebar, or you can choose to only show instructions that have an audit tag, or you can also only show instructions with a specific tag. Remember that in the last video we showed you that you can give a tag to instructions, and those can be filled in here, and then only the instructions with that type of tag will be shown here. Let's say for this planning view we will do it in the first method. We only want to see the audit procedures. We only have one audit here, so automatically one is checked. So now if we click on save, you can see that the sidebar only shows the audits that we want to see here. So now that we have configured the sidebar, it's important for us to plan the audits. If in Azumuta we plan an audit, we call this an event. And this will be seen in this planning view. Now, how this event will be shown is dependent on the configuring of the calendar events, which can be done here. First box here, it says event snap to. And this is important to know because if you put it on hour, if you plan an audit or an event, this will be automatically for a duration of 1 hour. Same for a day, week, and month. Now, if you put it on grid, the duration of the audit will be dependent on the zoom level. For example, if the zoom level is week, your event will be automatically planned for 1 day. If the zoom level is month, then the event will automatically be planned for 1 week, and so forth. So you can choose to either go grid or the other options. Next is the event caption. If you plan an event in Azumuta, there will be a box here, and there can be no caption, or you can have captions. For example, stating the work instruction, the average training level notes, and so on. This is important because sometimes you want to know at a glance, when viewing the planning view, for which work instructions the audits are planned. So you can take either option from this list, and this will be the event caption. We have now configured the planning view. So the sidebar has been set, and also the calendar event settings have been configured. So now let's go over to show you how you can use the planning view. First of all, you can change the way you see the days of the week, or go more in detail. For example, you can go more in detail here on your planning view. Now you can see the hours. You can go less into detail, like this. You can set the zoom level here also. You can check one of these. If you want to jump to the day of today directly, you can click here. You can also go more in the future or in the past by clicking on this agenda here. Let's now say for this example that we will set the zoom level on week so that we can see the days of the week. Alright, so now we can go over to planning an audit. When we plan an audit in Azumuta, we call this an event. So let's schedule an event. You can do this by clicking on the plus sign here. And if you now click on a day, for example here, Friday 15th of September, click here, automatically the duration will be for 1 day, because remember, we set the event snap to grid and our zoom level is on week. So automatically the duration is 1 day. And now you can keep clicking wherever you want, and it will always schedule one separate audit. For example here, I want to schedule one on Monday and also on Wednesday. If you're done scheduling, you click on escape, and now the safety audits are scheduled. We also explained at the beginning that an audit can be time dependent. For example, it can be that you want to have an audit, a safety audit in a particular place in the factory every day at 9 o'clock, for example. Now, it is very time consuming to plan it all separately, so that's why we incorporated the recurring events in Azumuta. So how do you do that? You click again on the plus, click here on add recurring event, and here you can configure it as you'd like. For example, here you want a daily audit scheduled at 9 o'clock, starting today, obviously also at 9. Okay, so now at 9 o'clock every day, and it ends after, for example, after 10 days. Okay, so the duration is automatically 1 day. You can also change this, but for now we can add the events, and now you can see the events are all added in one click. Planned audits are also still editable after you planned it. So let's say that you want to change the date of a scheduled audit. You can do that by clicking here on the 3 dots, edit date. You can edit the date like this, or you can also just drag it here, drag, and then you can drag as you like. Always click on escape to save. Okay. It's also possible to edit the audit itself, aside from changing the date, is clicking on it, and then you can either change the work instruction, change the spot, add an executor group or notes or a reminder. When the audit is filled in, you can also here see the report, and if necessary, you can also fill out the report yourself via the admin interface here. Now we can explore how the operator can use the audit module in the operator interface. So this is the operator interface, and in Azumuta you can use the audit module in 3 ways in this interface. Either you can execute an audit that was previously planned in the admin interface, or you can plan an audit yourself in the operator interface, or you can start an audit on the spot in this interface. So 3 ways to plan or execute an audit. Let's go to the first option. Is you can explore which audits are already planned for a specific zone. For example, here you can click on Explore. You go to the audit procedures, and immediately you can see that you have different tasks standing. These are the planned audits from the admin interface. So here you can see, for example, on today we have an important audit that needs to be done. The operator just clicks on tasks, clicks on the specific audit, they fill in the specific audit, and once they're at the last step, they can finish, and then it is gone from the list. So this was the first option. Second option is you can plan or execute an audit yourself, starting from the operator interface. So here, again, to do that, you go to the audit procedures, and you want to plan or execute an audit on the spot. So you go to the specific audit that you want to plan or execute. Click here, and then you can click on Plan or Start Audit. So you click on Plan on or Start Audit, and here you can see when you want to just execute an on-the-spot audit, you just click on Start Audit. So when you click on it, you can again go through the steps, you finish, that's okay. So now you have executed this audit on the spot. What also possible is you can also plan an audit from this interface. So here you can state, okay, I want to plan it the 19th, and then if you click on Plan Audit here, then this will be planned for that date. So this was the first option. Second option is you can plan or execute an audit yourself, starting from the operator interface. So here, again, to do that, you go to the audit procedures, and you want to plan or execute an audit on the spot. So you go to the specific audit that you want to plan or execute. Click here, and then you can click on Plan or Start Audit. And here you can see when you want to just execute an on-the-spot audit, you just click on Start Audit. So when you click on it, you can again go through the steps, you finish, that's okay. So now you have executed this audit on the spot. What also possible is you can also plan an audit from this interface. So here you can state, okay, I want to plan it the 19th, and then if you click on Plan Audit here, then this will be planned for that date. Now we can go back to the main screen, and that's that. So this is how you can use the audit module in the operator interface. Now we are back in the admin interface, and we now can take a look at the planning. And you can see here, we have executed quite some audits for today. And here for all the audits we have done, we have a complete report, and we only filled it in for the first steps. But this report will be completely filled when all steps were completed. Also important is now, so the audits that were executed are green. Imagine that we have an audit for today, the 15th of September, and we do not execute it, then this will be orange. So this way you can in one glance see which audits are overdue, which ones are done. And it's also possible that an audit, for example, when it's executed, that it's a fail. So at the end, they indicate fail, then it will be red. So 3 options, you'll have green, orange, or red. And in essence, that is what the audit module is all about. So good luck, and we hope this video will help you to get a good overview of all your audits. Aside from the planning view, it's also possible to find your audits in a different way. In Azumuta, you have a very developed search function, which you can find here. And when an audit is planned or executed, it is seen as a recording in Azumuta. So you can find recordings here, click on recordings. You can then choose which audits you want to search. And then you can search by execution date, by answer, or by status. For example, if we search by status, we can choose which ones are planned, search, and then you will find them here. You can also search by answer. For example, if you want to search for a specific answer, then all the audits with that specific answer will appear here. Also, you can search by execution date to really limit the amount of audits you want to see. So good luck, and we hope this video will help you to get a good overview of all your audits.